and taxing people won't fix their spending problem. What they need to do is cut the expenses, make small government, become more efficient, and create economic growth instead of just taxing people to death. Another sign that shows the market is strongly overvalued is the S&P 500 price to earnings ratio. Now it has come down a little bit, but it's still massively over the average. The average is only 17 to 18 times of the stock market price to the company's earnings. Now another huge indicator is signal climate and because you can see an almost perfect correlation. When margin debt goes up, the stock market goes up, the goes down, the stock market goes down. Now, if the Federal Reserve continues to slow down its asset purchases, now the production of $15 billion nothing is still printing more money than they did in 2008. So what they really need to do for the market to have a good reaction, like everyone is expecting, is they need to bring asset purchases to zero and actually start taking their balance sheet, which is when they start actually selling US treasuries, and that will cause yields on bonds to spike, and people won't want to take on margin debt when interest rates are down. And that's another catalyst to turn the stock market from a bull market to a bear market very quickly if yields spike unexpectedly. Now again, can't stress this enough. I think this is the biggest risk of all right now, and just like all things, you know, it'll come out in the news like what happened in China with Evergrande going down. They get a lot of press. It's going to go quiet for a while, and nothing should happen for months. But again, underneath the surface, things are rotting away, and nobody will bring it up. Nobody will tell you until boom, we have a looming out moment where all of a sudden a huge financial institution goes under out of nowhere and the markets go down. So this is the same situation that is happening now. You saw Evergrande go down. The bonds completely sold off to pennies on the dollar. They went down to around 20 cents on the dollar. The economy is starting to see the domino fall. We're starting to see these increasing spread. We just got news today that more developers are going on. The China bond yield shifts from Evergrande to other big developers. Country Garden, Vanity Dollar Bond fell sharply last week. So if we have a chart here, this is what I talked about, how this could now spread to some of the healthy developers or some of the developers that, you know, didn't have huge debt or liability like Evergrande. But again, the contagion of financial crisis spreads like wildfire. We want to keep our paper to increase counterparty risk and one institution goes down and it puts the others. And look at this, I bring up the chart here, Country Garden, bond industry continues selling off, and also banking real estate is down 3.5% on the dollar bond in 2021. So what does this mean to you and me in simple terms? Does this mean like in all market cycles, always there's euphoria, there is a terrible change, the end, there is almost FOMO, all the retailers jumping at the top, all the dumb money jumping at the top, and the insiders, the people that have the inside information. Of course, maybe we'll see the New York Times start buying their stocks, or the people at the Federal Reserve start buying their stocks soon, just like, you know, the two Fed shares did, and now they're retired with their millions. They sell off while they put out their articles in the media to say, you know, the market's going to go up, there's nowhere else to invest, you have to put your money in, you don't understand. While the euphoria is going on, and all those new investors are finding at the top, they are currently selling and positioning themselves for the market cap to become a buyer of everything that comes in the dollar and then profit from the next major era. And like I said, we have continued to monitor to see when Evergrande officially defaults. We're seeing some issues now happening in the US with Royale going bust. The question is, who's next? And that's for all my little viewers and subscribers who are watching. You're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
My name is Bree, and I found myself on Omlet. I did go on a couple other major activities, which was extremely easy. The pricing is super easy, and it's something that I would recommend for everyone.
Unconventional thinking means you see things differently, so you can focus on what matters most. That's how you become the leader in 5G and the partner who delivers effective customer support and 5G included in every plan, so you get it all.
That's the all the big decides to put investment because these are things that are supposed to go up and create more value for you. So now you understand that the money that you're working so hard to earn and save and invest It's just, before I get into investing, I want to really quickly go over the difference between an asset and a liability, because this will help you understand how our economic system works, especially when it comes to spending money. So when you earn this money from your job, you have the ability to spend this money on either assets or liabilities. Assets are things that make you money. So when you buy an asset, this is things like a stock or a real estate investment or a business. You are spending your money in something for the sole purpose of making money. So if you spend your money to buy a business, not spending the money at a business, you're spending your money to buy a business. Now you're using your money to make you money, because when you buy a business, the goal is to make some more money because the business will make money. When you use your money to buy real estate as an investment, you're using your money to create a new income stream, because people will live in this property, they'll pay you rent, and now you have this asset that hopefully go up in value. And when you invest your money in the stock market, now you're again investing in companies to hopefully make you more money. So when you invest your money in assets, the whole goal is to invest your money into things that produce value, real estate, companies, whatever. That way you can make more money. Liabilities, on the other hand, are things that you spend your money on that take money away from you. You should be spending money on things like clothes, and food, and cars, and vacations. These are things that are nice, and these are things that you need, but these are things that don't make you any money. So when you go and you buy yourself a really nice wardrobe, you buy yourself a really nice dinner, these are things that help support the economy, because you're giving money to other businesses, but they don't make you any more money. So the thing that I'm going to be focusing mainly on in this video are liabilities, because when it comes to economic growth, it's all about people spending money at businesses. So you need to understand that this is what we're going to be talking about in this video. If you want to learn more about investing your money in assets and building this wealth, I already talked about that in different videos on our YouTube channel. If you want to learn more about that, I will link a video for you in the description. Now, moving on to spending money, consumerism. Now, I know consumerism has kind of a negative connotation, but for the purposes of this video, when I say consumerism, I'm just talking about spending your money, because money only has value when you spend it or when you use it. So if I earn $100 and it just sits there and I leave it on my desk and I leave it there until I die, the $100 doesn't really provide any value to anyone, because it's just sitting there. Money only has value if you use it. Now, if I take $100 and I go out and buy myself a nice dinner, it provided me with value because it got me some nice food, hopefully some extra rock as well. But it also made the restaurant owner some money. Plus the waiter or waitress and whatever tips I give them. So it is providing value to somebody else, and it's providing value to me. Or if I take $100 and I go out and I invest it somewhere in the stock market or whatever, it's still providing me with value, because now I'm using this money and I'm turning it into an asset, which is something that will hopefully make me more money. So money only has value when you use it. And I'm going to be talking about now, how do you spend this money? The whole idea about consumerism in our economy is that you make more money, you have more money, and if you have more money, you can spend more money. Now, the more money you spend, the more money somebody else makes. Like if I spend $100 at a restaurant, the restaurant pays $100. If I go to a nicer restaurant and I spend $1,000, now this new restaurant pays $1,000. So the more money I spend, the more money someone else makes. The more money you spend, the more money the economy makes. And so the more money that people spend in our economy, then the more money our economy is generating, which can spur and incentivize more growth. Because if I run a restaurant and I'm making a huge profit and I'm making all this money, now I have more money to invest in growth. I can open up another restaurant. I can expand my restaurant. I can create new food options. I can hire more employees, and I can grow my company. If my restaurant isn't making any money because you're not spending money in my restaurant, now I don't have the money to grow. I don't have the money to keep paying my employees, so maybe I have to fire people. Maybe I have to downsize, I have to find a smaller restaurant. And maybe I'll have to shut down my business because I'm not making any money. But if people are spending money, if you're spending money in my restaurant, if people are spending money in other businesses, then businesses make more money. When they have more money, then they have the ability to invest in growth, which means they can open up new businesses, new stores, new offices, which means more people can be hired. And when more people are hired, now you have more people who have money. When you have more people who have money, now more people have money that they can spend. More people have money to buy homes, more people have money to buy cars, more people have money to go on vacations, and the more money that people spend, the more our economy grows. Now, when it comes to consumerism, the way our society works, hate it or love it, is the more value they can provide to the world, the more money they can make. Like I was mentioning just a minute ago, if you're a doctor, you provide more value to the world because you have a special skill that most people cannot provide, that most people do not have, and so you can charge more money per hour as compared to somebody who's flipping burgers at McDonald's. You're not providing as much value, which is why you don't make as much money as the doctor does. Now, this also comes to product creation and value creation because if you can create a product that everybody wants, you will be able to make more money. Because we live in a society where people don't put a gun to your head telling you to buy an iPhone. If you want to go and buy an iPhone, that is by your choice. And so if everybody is buying an iPhone, now the Apple company gets to make more money, and when they make more money, they get to choose how they want to use this money, how they want to invest this money, how many employees they want to hire and grow. But at the end of the day, it's consumer driven. It's the consumer that gets to decide. Because if people stop buying iPhones, then Apple is going to change their business or they're going to go out of business. I mean, just like people hating Walmart. People hate Walmart for one reason or another, but if you don't shop at Walmart and then you start shopping at Whole Foods instead, then you're going to end up paying a whole lot more money for your groceries because Walmart provides you different value than Whole Foods does. Because every company provides a different value. Walmart is the place to go to get cheap groceries. Whole Foods is the place to go to buy really expensive avocados. In general, when it comes to value, there are 4 different types of value creation out there. So when companies try to create products, the entrepreneurs try to create value and create a new company, there's 4 different areas of value that typically speak through. One is your necessities. These are the things that we need to survive. So food, water, shelter, these are the things that we need in order to continue living our general lives. So this does not include the iPhone, because if you don't have an iPhone, you technically couldn't die. Some people might, but you should not die if you don't have an iPhone. So necessities are things like food, water, shelter, things that we need in order to survive. Things that make your life easier are now your necessities that are more kind of transformed to make your life easier. So this would be a nicer home. So now instead of just a place that gives you a roof over your head, now we're talking about a mansion. Or we're talking about better bottled water. People who are paying $6 for a bottle of water to make your life easier because it's supposed to be a better product, whatever. And then we have things like the iPhone because it's supposed to make your life easier as opposed to maybe a flip phone or a nice laptop. Once we get past the necessities, now we're talking about things that we can use to improve our lives. It can be products, like I just talked about, or it can be services. Housekeepers, people who mow your lawn, people who get your groceries for you, people who clean your house, the services or things that make your life a little bit easier. Then you have the things that make your life a little bit cheaper. So these are things like the Walmart. Walmart is your affordable way to shop. You're not going to get the same experience at Walmart as you are at Gucci because they cater to different people and they have different value that they provide. Walmart's job is to give you things at a cheaper price. Gucci's job is to give you something that's completely overpriced, and because they're making more money, they can give you a better service. And then last but not least, we have everything else. This is typically only reserved when you have kind of a society that's more developed and that's kind of more wealthy, because these are the things that you don't need to survive. These are things that are not going to make your life easier. They're not making your life cheaper. It's just everything else that doesn't really provide any real value to your survival. It's just something there because there's money for it. You could think of this kind of like paying a lot of money for Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards don't make your life easier. They don't make your life cheaper. You don't need Pokemon cards to survive. But we're living in a society where we have enough wealth to be able to spend money on things like Pokemon cards. This is a luxury that you see in first world countries, not typically in third world countries where people are struggling here with the necessities. But when you have this wealth, when you have this money in your society, then you can create this whole new value of things that people don't even need, but it's just something that you can create value behind. So you're going to work every single day to make this money. The paper money, the fiat currency that I just talked about. And now when you have this money, which is a representation of how much value that you create, you can spend this money in order to give more value to yourself. This could include things that you need in order to survive, things that can make your life easier, things that can make your life cheaper, and everything else. The more money you have, the more money that you can spend, and the more money that you spend, the more money that somebody else makes. We live in a consumerism society where the more money you make, the more money you have, and the more money you have, the more money you spend. The more money you spend, the more money that somebody else makes, and the more our economy grows, because now businesses will have more money to invest in growth, and as businesses grow and our economy grows, then people will have more jobs, and as people have more jobs, now this whole cycle continues, because then we have more people who have income streams, more people who have money to spend, and as more people have money to spend, more people can spend more money, which fuels the growth of our economy. This brings us to number 3, understanding how we are a credit-based economy. So credit means you have the ability today to spend money that you haven't actually earned yet. And so you can think of it like this. Let's assume that you make $50,000 a year from your job, which means you have the ability to only spend $50,000 max. Actually, it's a little bit less than that, because before you can actually spend any money, the IRS, the government's going to want their cut, and so after you pay your taxes, you might only be left with, let's say, $40,000. That's the only amount of money that you're able to spend. But if you include credit into the equation, now you have $40,000 of value that you earned. This is the money that you earned from your job, and now because of credit, you can spend way more than $40,000. You might be able to spend $100,000 thanks to the help of loans and lines of credit and credit cards, which allows you to spend more money and get more value for yourself today, even though you haven't earned all that money today. Let me start with this. What is debt? Debt is when you borrow money against your future self, your future earnings, and you spend this money today. So if you go out and you borrow $100,000, you are taking $100,000 from your future self, from your future earnings, and you're spending that $100,000 today. Now, what you have to do is once you spend this $100,000, you got to pay this $100,000 back over a number of years plus interest. So you're going to be paying this $100,000 back over the future, over your future earnings plus interest. So debt or credit allows you to take your future earnings and spend this money today, and this, all you gotta do is pay back plus interest. The thing you gotta understand about debt and credit, especially when it comes to our economy, is this a good thing? Well, it depends who you ask. Let's start by looking at credit from the perspective of our economy. If before you made $50,000 a year, then you'd only be able to spend $50,000 minus your taxes. But now, if you factor credit or debt into it, now you might be able to spend $100,000 today, even though you only made $50,000. So before, if you go into a restaurant, you might have only been able to afford a $100 dinner. But because you have credit, because you can borrow money from the bank, because you have a credit card in your pocket, now you can buy yourself a nicer dinner. You can buy yourself nicer drinks. You can buy yourself a whole lot more food. And so now, because you have access to more money through credit, you have the ability to spend $200, not $100. And so now the restaurant owner, they don't know the difference whether you're spending credit or your money, because in their eyes, in the economic market, the credit or money that you spend is the exact same thing. Money and credit acts the same in our economy, and so now you're just able to spend more money. And so now if you can spend twice as much money as before, now businesses are making more money, which means if this restaurant can just double the amount of money they're making because people have access to credit, now this restaurant has just doubled their revenue, they can hire more employees, they can open more restaurants, and now our economy can grow twice as fast because we have just increased the amount of money in circulation because people have access to credit, because now they're not spending money based off of how much money they earned, they're spending money based off of how much credit they qualify for. Now, I'm not saying this is right or wrong, I'm just telling you how our economic system works. Now, from an economic standpoint, having this credit-based society in general
corner and own it. Because their local agent is a small business owner too. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the shitty video. Definitely pretty big stuff. Definitely major price situation. We wouldn't really get into that right now. We got some pretty awesome. First of all, even people here how this streaming thing just took out like 100 million people on TV. We actually have an upcoming event that's also like a TVE event. Even people also talk about it on the Twitter page, so definitely check it out. And in fact, but nevertheless, though, this is a lot of coins in the burrow. And it's not just stealing people from these coins. We have a lot of breakout everyday retail traders earning. In fact, there's estimates out there saying it could be something like 8% of Shiba tokens being burned by the end of February 2022, which is in the next 3 to 4 months. And given the fact that Shiba's popularity is always rising, it was down about 2,000-3,000 members, new holders in the past few hours, shows you that more people buying the coins, new holders are going in, whales are buying the coin massively, and the burn rate is skyrocketing recently. This could only mean one thing: eventually the price of each individual coin will be going up. This is why CBE is the coin that carries stock market. If we expect to see the news in the next few weeks, we have huge amounts of catalysts. First of all, we have the Robinhood catalyst. Robinhood catalyst is saying that most likely will be listening to this. Passion FX, which is a massive crypto coin, could be looking at CBE from the coin. And it could be similar to this in Tesla, with CBE and better from the Tesla website, meaning that Tesla may be considering accepting CBE for either a Tesla program or to be used for the new buy. And that's pretty nice. And that's what it, guys. Thanks for watching. It's on below. Definitely check out the private Discord server. Link in the description below. It's free until December 1st, so definitely check it out. And we have also different amazing trades. We have several different really big analysts here. Trade with us, guys. Make some money with us live. See you later. Is required by the SEC to release certain information about the company. That way people...
Hello everyone, it's Mike, and thank you so much for tuning in to another video. My Dogecoin family, my Dogecoin community, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're tuning in for. In today's video, I want to be talking about something serious. Buying Dogecoin, buying Bitcoin before it's too late. And this really goes for the entire crypto market. If you are not allocating into cryptocurrency right here and right now, you are going to watch the biggest opportunity that this market has ever seen walk right past you. And you're not going to have the chance to change your financial situation for the better using cryptocurrency as an avenue towards financial freedom. And why am I talking about this is the opportunity? Really, I've been the one advocating that you need to be adding to cryptocurrency for a while now. And of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what is changing my life and the avenue that cryptocurrency is for me, and how crypto investing has continuously, time in and time out, been the avenue that has leaded to the most success in changing my financial situation for the better. And I ultimately believe that with Dogecoin and Bitcoin, they have two network upgrades that are coming to fruition in the immediate short term. And I believe that we are going to see the biggest transfer of wealth happen within the cryptocurrency market. Now that being said, I understand there's a lot of people out there that are allocating that the Bitcoin and overall crypto market has been consolidating. Some of these coins don't perform as well as others, and people become impatient. People want to chase green candlesticks, and you have to understand the way of the game of cryptocurrency is patience, and being patient and continuously allocating into a cryptocurrency that you've done your research on, that you understand is going to be there for the long term and has been there for the ups and the downs of cryptocurrency market is a successful pattern. So that being said, I'm going to be talking about why this is the time to understand what is about to happen with Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and how both of these networks are getting upgraded in the immediate short term, and how this is going to lead to mass mainstream adoption. And ultimately, as we are increasingly starting to start the engines of the overall parabolic move that we are going to see within the cryptocurrency market, I want to give you some expectations on what you could be seeing in the next couple of months here for the overall crypto market. And in my opinion, if you're allocated into cryptocurrency, you are going to want to see what I have to say. But more importantly, in the next couple of months, in my opinion, you are going to be in a much better, significantly better position financially than anybody who's not investing in cryptocurrency. They can have their 10% gains, they can have their 20% gains, because what is about to happen in the next couple of months is going to be monumental, and it is going to put you in a better financial situation than you ultimately came into cryptocurrency in. That being said, if you're part of this cryptocurrency community, make sure that you tap like and make sure you subscribe to the channel as we continuously bring you the information that mainstream media will not talk about. As we're also talking about the two major network upgrades for Dogecoin and for Bitcoin that are coming in the immediate short term, and the major effects that they could have on the pricing of the overall crypto market as we're going into the most parabolic stages of this market that is going to set you up financially if you take action right here, right now. Also drop a comment down below. That being said, we show up every single day to bring you the latest information around the entire crypto market. All we ask for is that you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. That being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So we're taking a deep dive into both networks, Bitcoin and Dogecoin, that are experiencing massive upgrades in the immediate short term, and what this could mean on the prices for Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and the entire crypto market as we are preparing for liftoff in the most parabolic stages of the overall crypto market. That being said, if you're not subscribed to this channel, you need to subscribe right here, right now, as we show up and show out every single day to bring you the latest information around the entire crypto market. But that being said, the entire crypto market sitting at a $2.88 trillion market with roughly a 4% increase in the last 24 hours, as Bitcoin is sitting above 66,100 at a 6.25% move to the upside, now sitting at a $1.2 trillion asset. Now we're seeing a lot of green in the overall crypto market. Dogecoin sitting at 27.72, a 3% move to the upside, now trying to break the 28 cents here, sitting at $36 billion market cap and roughly 3.6 billion in volume. Look for Bitcoin to continue to push higher here, and ultimately maybe even test all-time highs as soon as today. And also look for Dogecoin to follow in the footsteps of Bitcoin. But let's take a bigger look at both of these networks and understand how Bitcoin is about to experience a new upgrade that nobody's really talking about, and Dogecoin is about to launch the network upgrade that every community has been anticipating and been awaiting, and what this could mean for the prices of both of these assets. So let's start off with Bitcoin first. So the Bitcoin stops 4 days away as Tarput upgrade closes in. The Tarput upgrade will set deployment after achieving 90% of consensus among the Bitcoin mining nodes, and this is going to go live roughly on the 14th of November right here. So understand, we are going to continue to see mainstream adoption coming to the Bitcoin network as the Bitcoin network itself is continuously being upgraded and able to onboard mainstream adoption. This is what you want to see in a bull market, with the major catalysts like Bitcoin continuing to develop its network and continuing to be a superior asset. But let's take a look at what we could be experiencing in the immediate short term for Bitcoin in the overall crypto market. So this is a Bitcoin chart right here, and this is telling us kind of what 2013 did with a fractal that played out, and then the 2017 fractal that played out, and now we're going to be looking at the green, which is what we are experiencing right here, right now. Okay, so what you can see is that we are about to experience a massive push to the upside if we're going to play these two fractals out. As you can see, there's a lot of coincidence and exciting data points between all three of these. So what you can see is that we're about to edge off to the biggest point of this entire market. As you can see, we are lining up to have a run of roughly $86,000 and get up into this massive push to the upside. Now the question is how high do we go? We are more than likely going to push above this level, come back, drop down to it, retest it, hold it at support, and then it's off to the races. Now what we are talking about is that we might see the biggest move in the entire crypto market within the next couple months here, as we have seen in the data that's showing us that possibly the market will begin by the end of this year. That's what 2017 and 2013 played themselves out to be. Does not mean that we have to end this year, but it is giving us some data to understand what could play itself out. And as you can see here, that between November 12th and December 19th, we could see an absolute parabolic move to the upside, with roughly getting above $80,000 in the couple weeks ahead, and then we actually go parabolic. And if we follow the 2013 fractal, we could be as high as roughly 500,000, which I do not believe is going to play out. But even after the blow up top peak, we could be at 350,000. Still think that's a little bit high prediction, but if we follow the 2017 fractal, we could be as high as 250,000. What I think we're actually going to come in is somewhere around 200,000, but we can always see something happen. But we're telling you that we are coming into the final legs of this market, the most parabolic stages of this market, and the best opportunity as we're seeing Bitcoin's network continue to get upgrade during a bullish trend, during the most parabolic second leg of this market. This is the time to understand that if you're not allocating into cryptocurrencies, you are going to miss the boat and miss an opportunity to change the financial situation better. And likewise, the Dogecoin Core Network upgrade is about to be launched. Has been tagged going for gold, but for the open source, we're running the build process for it now. I'm not done until we verify the build is good, but soon, so we're waiting this upgrade that to be in the immediate short term. As we're following that Bitcoin is getting an upgrade on the network, and now we're going to see Dogecoin network continues to get their upgrade. And if you are not bullish on Dogecoin, just look at this chart. We are trying to break the downtrend right here, roughly around 28 cents. That's why we're getting a lot of confluence around 27, 28 cents. We're trying to break this level of resistance. And as you see, if we break this level, it is basically green skies ahead with a target of roughly maybe $2 by the end of this bull market, depending on how high and how parabolic Bitcoin can take the overall market. But this is the time to understand that what we're seeing with Dogecoin and their upgrade that's happening in the immediate short term, alongside Bitcoin now is getting upgraded, alongside the second leg of this bull market, as we are about to enter the most parabolic stages, this is the time to be bullish. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Hi, Ling Ling. About to get more bigger upgrades to the network that are going to be bullish for the overall market, and it's coming in the best time for the entire market as we're going into the second leg and the most parabolic stages. We have some big price targets ahead of us, and in my opinion, we have some parabolic moves ahead of us that are going to change the lives of many, many people, and people that are subscribed to this channel are going to have a better opportunity to set themselves up financially through investing in crypto assets. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you smash the like button, and I will catch you guys on the next video.
Discover the future of TV on CTV. Viant, built for now.
To textiles to China. So what they need to do is, firstly, they need to source the cotton. Alright guys, so this is an update. As you can see, I look like a complete bum now. It's only day 7 of being on a leave without pay. No real updates other than a lot of free time on my hand, and this is what it looks like when you don't have work.
So what do we have for lunch today? We got the breakfast burrito, the vegan style from Dakota. Been sampling their burritos that they have over there lately. Pretty good. Decent size. So that was pretty good. Bingo later? Absolutely there's bingo later. I hope you all make it for that. The Fed will taper and have everyone begging to bring back the cheap money. Absolutely they will. That's what I'm going to be talking about here in just a little bit. I put a couple of links down there in the description for you guys to 2 different speeches given by, one by Ben Bernanke back before he was like chairman or anything else. And the other one is from John Williams, the New York Fed president. And they're pretty good. Like the one from Ben Bernanke is cool. It's one that I've referred to, or referenced back to many times in the past, talking about the credible threats, where I came up with that idea for credible threats, and how the Federal Reserve is going to be using that as part of their monetary policy. It's doing very well in the part of that speech. And it's really like I said in the description of this video, it really paints the picture of what we've had going on here. I mean, if you read those speeches and you look at some of the other speeches that were given around that time, you're going to see that the Federal Reserve is very much concerned about deflation. Not so much about the inflation. They're very concerned about deflation inside of those speeches. Hi, Ling Ling. And you think about it, like when you read those speeches, you realize like it's a demographic issue that they're talking about. It's an innovation, like all the new technologies that are coming out, and making things easier on people, meaning less workforce. That is going to be a very difficult thing for the economy to try and absorb, is having less people